Philtv, Phillips fam, Philtv, Phillips fam, Philtv, Phillips fam, Philtv, for Phillips fam.
What's up, y'all? What it do, man? It's your boy, Swagg Daddy. I'm in the build. Swagg Nation, Facebook, YouTube, everybody. I don't know when to put this on, but I'm just making a video. Right, I'm sure you guys my little palm tree collection, man. So you guys probably love my little palm trees, man. I got this from like a birthday present, man, about 3 or 4 years ago. It's a Mediterranean fan palm. As you know, guys, we're moving from out of this neighborhood, out of this community, which is the village of Indian Trails, to more than likely Town Lake or Bridgeland. I think the Falls of Dry Creek is out, but these are my tree collections, and as you know, I said it before, man, I can't have palm trees in Town Lake, and I think I can't have them in Bridgeland. Town Lake wants to have more of an actual hill country, look like Austin and San Antonio, but the problem with that is Austin and San Antonio have palm trees, but I'm gonna still have palm trees in my backyard, y'all. I'm probably getting me a pool installed, and then they want to have the build plans, but I'm gonna go out and buy me a mule palm. I'm gonna more than likely dig up my Mediterranean fan palm because it's a birthday present. I'll put it in the pot, I'll put it in the ground too, I don't really care. Got my nice canary. This is a very small tree when I first bought it. This thing is growing faster than I expected. This is like an actual slow to moderate growing tree. Probably get like about 6 inches to like a foot a year. This has been giving me very well that actual foot a year. It's gonna give me that moderate to fast growth rate for this particular species. This is another canary island. This is my first purchased palm tree, I think. I purchased this a while back, right before we bought the house, probably like a year before I bought the house. I had it on my back patio. This thing was tiny. It's probably like less than a foot when I bought it. It took a few years, man, but it finally took off like about 3 years ago. We had a few hard freezes, man, and that kept it from really doing what it could do. But these last couple of years, man, it's been flying. This was the smallest in my yard, and it took off. Got me Mexican fan palm here. I bought this. These two, we actually around the same. I probably bought all 3 of these at the same time. But this was about 2.5 feet when I first bought it. He hasn't been growing that fast, man. I'm kind of upset with him. You know, he hasn't been growing as fast. He's been growing kind of slow. This is like an actual moderate to fast growing tree. Of course, in Houston, it's more moderate. Probably like about a foot a year, if that. This been giving me like about 8 inches a year. Probably like a little bit under the foot. But that one been giving me what it's supposed to. And these go very fast in California. They like more arid climates. You know, here in Houston, of course, it's the southern states, man, so we have like a lot of humidity here, and it gets very hot. This one has been growing fast. It kind of slowed down this year a little bit, but it's still kicking butt. This was very small, and it's already passed up this next canary. This was my second canary. I bought this. This tree was it had long fronds, but really wasn't that big. It finally took off. This one has been growing real slow. They all call him. He started to pick up this year. He's starting to catch back up with him again, but he actually passed him big time at one point. He was taller than him at the beginning of this year, but this growing season, his fronds finally starting to get the actual long length to him, and it passed him back up. But that's my tallest tree in the yard. He was taller than both Mexican fan palms, and they've been trying to catch up to him, but can't really do it. Now this right here is one of my 3 Bismarcks. We were in Miami in 2017, had a reunion. I got this from like Western Florida, which is in that Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, Broward County. And we was at a resort, and I found an actual Bismarck palm tree, got the seeds, and I grew this from seed. I put him in the ground because he was originally in this pot over here with this Bismarck. This is my youngest Bismarck. He was doing the worst because he had like less soil, but he determined that he grew, man. I tried to grow a few of them, and everybody didn't grow. I even bought some seeds online, and they all didn't grow, but these are Bismarck palms. They're really not good zone for this area. They actually can handle down to about 23 degrees. These have been under 23-degree weather. We had a couple Arctic blasts that came down, but the fronds can get damaged once you start getting that low. But they have been living up to expectations. I had some queen palms here in the ground right where this is at, but the queen palms died. We had an Arctic blast. It got like down to 17, killed the queens, man. It killed all my queens. I took the Bismarck palms inside the house, man, so I protected those, man. But I have 4 queens. I had a queen right here, a queen where this Bismarck is planted right now, and the queen over there in that empty spot next to that Mediterranean fan palm, and they didn't make it. I have one right here too, and they didn't make it, man. You can still see the ground where it was at, but the queen palms didn't make it. I was gonna Buy me some mule palms, which is a cross between a queen palm and a queen palm and a pinto palm. But we're getting ready to move, and so I'm gonna get a mule palm from my backyard in town late more than likely. But we're gonna see how it turns out. I wanted an actual medjool date palm to go right here. The pinto palm. I had 2 pinto palms in my front yard. Both of them died. I had a foxtail palm. A foxtail palm, of course, is not zoned for here in Houston. Houston's like zone 9A. Foxtail palms can probably survive in zone 9B. Probably get some frost damage, like Orlando type weather, man. Even down in Galveston, you have a few foxtail palms that didn't make it. I also had an actual. If you look in this hole right here in my ground, that used to be a Vitia Montgomery palm, and then I also had a Florida Royal. Both of them died, of course. Those trees are tropical. They're not cold hardy at all. They didn't make it. Over here, guys, had my little baby Chinese fan palm, and he was doing bad at first, man. This guy here, I was worried about him. He had long fronds because he was actually like in an actual under a canopy shade, so he had long fronds. Whenever the tree had shades, the fronds, which are the actual leaves, fronds are nothing but a big leaf. The fronds were very long, but he's just starting to take off within his last year. He wasn't growing at all. He was kind of weak. The roots wasn't taking, but I put some root stuff down, man, some root simulator down, man, and they start taking off, man. And so he's finally getting to that point where he's taller than me, starting to get taller than this gauge, I guess. And still a slow growing tree. I didn't expect much from him, but he's finally taking off. He's been in the ground for like about 3 or 4 years, and he's finally taking off. Sometimes these trees can take a while to become established. Some trees, you put them in the ground, they take off. So other trees, you put them in the ground, they have that shock, and they kind of start off slow. Like this tree right here, took off. I put him in that ground, he flew. He was already a healthy tree. This one right here is growing kind of slow. That one took a long time to grow. He was very healthy looking. He even kind of going slow. He's giving me steady growth. He's growing, but not really impressive. He hit the ground running. He was on the verge of dying. I had him in my back patio in my apartment. I gave him to Uncle Charles. He put him in his backyard, pruned him up real good, and I put him in the ground, man, he took off. I was worried about him, man, but he's been growing faster than this one, and that one has been growing faster than every tree in his life. Another tree that's very impressive is my Texas sable. This is different from the sable that we have in Florida. In Florida, we have sable palmettos. The sable palmettos look just like these, but the difference is that the sable palmettos are a little bit more slow growing, and they have a smaller canopy. This tree, you can tell the difference. When I first moved to Texas, I saw a sable mexicana. I thought it was a sable palmetto. I said, this tree is big. That's like a big sable, man. You can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. It's a bigger tree. It grows a little bit faster. It looks good, but there is a difference. I was like, man, everything is big in Texas. And I guess the same thing with the sable too. But I found out later on that they are different species. They look identical, but there are a few differences. Again, the canopy gets bigger in this one. And also, when you look at the trunk, when you have the actual roots or the shoots on the side, they're more dressed as far as the pattern. As far as the sable palmettos, it's a little bit more wildly arranged. And I'll show you probably some copies of that later on down the line. But I had one more palm tree in the front yard. Again, I had queen palm up in the front, I had a foxtail palm. They both died from the winter Arctic blast. I had some right here. I had a pygmy date palm. He died. I had a cat palm over here that died. We had them real bad blast out here, man. But I had 2 pinto palms over here on the side, and both of them died. They had bud rot. They're very cold hardy, but they got bud rot because Texas have terrible soil. They have this clay soil here, and so the water, when it gets logged in there, and you have them palm trees, they used to having like sandy soil where the actual water drains pretty quickly. If you had that stuff sitting like that, you can get bud rot. So this clay soil killed both of my pinto palms that were right here. And I got some sables. I mean, that's some sables. I got some sagos. Sagos aren't really palm trees. People say sago palms, but they're not really palm trees. They're psychics, which are cross between the fern and the palm. I got 3 of these. I bought that one. There's one over there. Used to have a majesty palm right here. I'm gonna put the majesty palm in a bigger pot today. That majesty palm died, of course, with the Arctic blast. I got this from Unc. Somebody had this. This is like an actual offshoot. Offshoots for these things right here. You can take these, cut them off of the big palm, put them in the pot. I want to take the fronds out and they start growing their own roots and becomes a separate tree. So you can use these things right here as separate sago palms. These are very slow growing, but they're good addition. You can have these in town lakes. I may have several of these in my front yard. Not too many, but we had the front yard looking nice. I also had a pygmy date over here. That pygmy date died. Again, I had a foxtail right here originally when we first moved into the house. Foxtail died. Then I put the queen there. The queen died because we had unusual Arctic glass. And I have one more palm to show you guys. That windmill palm. I'm not really a big fan of windmill palms, but I love palms, and so I got it. Also had a ponytail palm, which is also not a palm. He died. I put him in the ground, man, and we had unusual Arctic glass, man. You know, Houston don't get that cold. We probably get like down to 25, seldom, 28, 29 degrees. But every now and then you have an Arctic glass. The Arctic glass will kill your palms unless they're cold hardy. This is a cold hardy palm, very slow growing. It can get down to like about probably like 10 degrees, but it's a good palm to have. It gets pretty decent in size. It's not really a big palm. It's not one of my favorites, but palm trees, man. I love palms, man. I get any kind of palm I want, I grab it. But I'll make sure you guys a video later on different types of palms that you can grow in the Houston area. Palms that will work here, palms that won't, palms that I've tried. And you can look at the certain growth rates when you start learning like the zones and what trees are hardy and what zone and what's not. Some of that stuff is misleading because you may not get down to that temperature, but there's certain palm trees that when you start getting frost, that frost will kill it. If the frost don't kill it, and it's not cold enough for it to freeze to death, the wind can kill it. And a lot of my palms die from frost and wind damage. If you see, I have an actual bottle palm over here, which is not cold hardy at all. I have to take it inside the house in winter. I let it stay out a few times. It wasn't that cold. It wasn't down to the actual cold weather degree to where it can be, but I get the frost killed the fronds. The tree's still living. It's growing new fronds, but the frost killed them fronds, so I had to cut them off. So frost damage is just as bad as cold damage, like getting below that freezing temperature, and it's also just as bad as that wind damage. And so, but he's still living. I'm gonna put him in a different pot. I can do pot form. Of course, that's going with me to Town Lake or Brisbane, wherever we go. More than likely Town Lake again. Just being real with you guys. But today, what I'm gonna do, I may record this, I may not. Wife bought me this one, man, a little while back. He kind of had a bad winter. He kept falling over. Wasn't getting no water in the patio. I kind of neglected him, and so I had to cut some of the fronds off. They were dying. I'm gonna put him in a bigger pot. I'm gonna move him into this pot, and I'm moving this Bismarck palm, which is my first Bismarck palm. He was doing very good, over to this pot. He gets no drainage. This is pure clay soil. The other two Bismarcks, I put him in like a clay and a potted mixture to give him more drainage. He doesn't get any drainage at all, and so I thought he had blur. I thought he was gonna, that's like the extra 2 peanuts I had in the front, but he survived. He had like a little bit of rot, so I had to pull like some of these off. He's not opening up. I had to spread him open myself, and he just wasn't doing good, and now he's starting to grow a new frond. What happened with this guy is that these trees, they don't transplant well. These are native to Madagascar, which is an actual tropical island off the coast of Africa. It's in Africa. It's on that continent, and these trees don't transplant well. You can transplant most palms, but this tree, once he becomes established, he does not transplant well. Trees have fibrous, so fibrous roots. Palm trees have fibrous roots. They're not really like woody trees like your actual hardwood oak trees or any kind of pine trees like these over here, or cedars. They have fibrous roots. There are thousands, or probably not, if not thousands, millions of tiny fibers, kind of like a grass or a they're monocots basically. They're just like grass. They're not dicots like trees. And so, but this tree, like unlike other palms, have a taproot. Most palms don't have a taproot, but he has a taproot, and if that taproot gets damaged, it can kill the tree, or it can be significantly damaged. Well, when I had him on the ground, he started growing through the pot, and his taproot kind of broke a little bit, and so it kind of made him decline some, but he's resilient, he's bouncing back. So I'm gonna move him from this pot over to this pot. I'm gonna take all the extra stuff out. This soil has clay and potting mix, and I'm gonna take him out of that pot and put him in this pot. That way he has a bigger pot to grow, and I can make his roots grow a little more and let him get established, and I'll keep him as an actual patio palm for my next house. I'll have a nice patio in one of the houses that we're gonna buy. So that's my palm trees, guys. I don't have that much time on my phone to record Kate later on, so I'm not gonna record me transplanting from pot to pot. I don't know, we'll see, guys. Stay tuned, man. Hey, deuces. Subscribe, like, comment below. Let me know what y'all guys think. palm enthusiast, Swagg Daddy. Renaissance man. I'm a jack of all trades, maybe expert of none. But I make it do what it do. Yeah.